Good morning, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Jude Jets Show. I'm your host, Jude Jets, and Elijah Moore's a Cleveland Brown. Mecole Hardman's a New York Jet. OBJ to the Jets. Talk is heating up, and is Julio Jones going to be a New York Jet? Let's go ahead and break down all these wide receiver stories after the intro. Alright, let's break down some news. Starting off with the Elijah Moore trade, the Jets sent Moore in the 74th overall pick in this year's draft to the Browns in exchange for the 42nd overall pick. So as of now, the New York Jets do have back-to-back picks in the second round, and this leads me to my first takeaway from the trade, the compensation we received. So now the New York Jets do have 2 second-round picks this year, and that the first second-round pick we have could be used to select a player that could help out our roster, or it could be used in a potential trade package. It could help bring Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets, or it could help Kevin Byard or DeAndre Hopkins become a New York Jet. So the second round pick gives the New York Jets a lot more opportunities through trade, or it could potentially help us add another stud. Second takeaway, the Jets did technically lose this trade. If you look at all these trade value websites and whatnot, the New York Jets lost value with this trade despite gaining a second round pick. And I do think giving up a third for Elijah Moore was a little too steep, but it definitely seemed like the New York Jets wanted to get him out of there, wanted to bring in the second round pick, and really Elijah Moore just needed a fresh start. So this trade just made sense for both sides. And of course, this brings back to our last point. Elijah Moore is no longer a New York Jet, and this is a bitter moment, not bittersweet, because there's nothing sweet about losing Elijah Moore. Yeah, he did have his up and downs with the New York Jets, and him requesting a trade after the New York Jets going 4-2 and beating the Green Bay Packers does leave a sour taste in your mouth, but the potential this dude had was insane. I mean, his rookie year, whenever he was finally getting into his groove, finally developed, he was finally ready to be a pro, started balling out, he got hurt. And, if he didn't get hurt, he probably was going to finish his rookie year with 1,000 yards, which is what Garrett Wilson ended up doing. But to have two back-to-back 1,000-yard rookie receivers could have been insane. I mean, the potential Elijah Moore has is insane, and it would have been nice to see what he could do with Aaron Rodgers. Now it's going to be nice to see what he could do with Deshaun Watson, but still it just sucks to see Elijah Moore is not going to achieve his potential with the New York Jets, and best of luck to him in Cleveland. Now moving on to the Mecole Hardman signing. So the New York Jets signed Mecole Hardman to a one-year deal with a max value of $6.5 million. So I'd assume his base salary somewhere in the $4 to $5 million range, which is good money for a wide receiver 4, which is what Mecole Hardman should be on the New York Jets. I mean, during his time in Kansas City, that's what they used him as, and sure, that doesn't live up to second round pick standards, but in the NFL, that's the role Hardman was meant for, and he's making his money that way. I mean, what you're going to get in Mecole Hardman is a fast receiver. His 40-yard dash time was 4.33, and so far in the NFL, he's recorded some of the fastest times since entering the league. My next in stats does that miles per hour thing. I want to say he recorded a 21 point something time, which was like third fastest since 2019. I mean, the dude has some wheels. He's also an extremely good gadget player. I mean, the Chiefs use him in many different roles during his time with them. They used him in screen routes, and Mecole Hardman was one of the best screen catching receivers in the NFL since 2019. And since he has all the speed, he's great on deep routes. He's great on those end arounds, jet sweep plays. And Mecole Hardman is also a good return man. 2019, he was a Pro Bowler and a second-team All-Pro because of his return abilities. Yeah, Mecole Hardman did miss the final 9 regular season games, the divisional round, and the Super Bowl due to injury, but before this year, he played in every possible game. So Mecole Hardman is a reliable, fast, gadget return man that's going to have a nice role on the New York Jets, and excited to see what he could potentially bring to the table. Now moving on to the Odell Beckham talks. Since Elijah Moore is no longer on the roster, the Odell Beckham Jr. to the New York Jets talks have been heating up. They've been lighting houses on fire. And now that Moore's no longer on the roster, I'm starting to like the idea of adding Odell Beckham Jr. Sure, he's an injury-prone player, having 3 torn ACLs over his career. And yeah, he didn't play last season due to that ACL injury. And obviously, that's never great. But Odell Beckham Jr. is Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, the dude is one of the best route runners in the NFL. Apparently, his workout that he held like 2 weeks ago went extremely well, and the New York Jets went to that workout as well, and hopefully they walked away impressed. And Aaron Rodgers wants to play with Odell Beckham Jr. They have a great friendship. They've always wanted to play with each other, so it really just seemed like Odell's going to become a New York Jet, and to be honest, I'm here for it. And then moving on to our final story of the day about Julio Jones. Now, I haven't seen anybody talking about this, and I do believe it's because it's coming from an unfamiliar source, and that source is NFL Analyst Network. They said that they spoke to a former NFL executive, and that former NFL executive believes that the New York Jets are showing some type of interest in Julio Jones. So if this is true, it's interesting. Now that we've signed Mecole Hardman, I doubt the New York Jets still have interest in Julio, because at this stage in his career, he's a wide receiver 4, maybe a wide receiver 3 for some teams, but I wouldn't want Julio on our team as 3. You know, over the past few years, he's really showed that he no longer can play at that type of level anymore. So, definitely interesting. I wonder if the Jets still have interest in Julio, and if so, wonder what his role with the team could be if he were to sign. But that's all the news I got for you guys today. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what your favorite story of the day was, what you make out of all these stories. Definitely want to hear your opinions, or if you just want to talk Jets, always down to do that. But I'm your host, Jet, signing off for now. See you guys later. Peace.